So a funny thing happened on my way to the screening for Transformers the last night. Got a last minute call to go check out a very early screening for a War of Planet of the Apes. Easy call. I couldn't turn my car quick enough to get to the other theater. And with that, I welcome you to another episode of The Road Mentor, where my goal, as always, is to enhance your movie watching experience. So War for the Planet of the Apes is the third movie in the new rebooted Planet of the Apes franchise, a franchise I loved growing up as a kid. I actually was a big fan of the first one. Really loved the second one, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which came out a couple years ago. Matt Reeves returns again behind the camera to bring us the third, and I'm not sure if it's the final of this trilogy, if it's going to continue, but what a way to go if it is. You know, usually the third parts and then these trilogies don't always hit the mark, but I gotta say, Matt Reeves, his direction is so spot on here. Really creates a great story here. Now, this is I would call this more of a drama. I know the trailers made it seem like an action film or has a lot more action, and honestly, it doesn't, and that's not a bad thing because these Apes movies have always been about Caesar and his character arc and his progression from when obviously he came to be to where he's at now, and the difference between one and the other and the struggles that he goes through. And this movie puts that in the forefront in a really good way. Matt Reeves really balances the story so well. It's captivating from the beginning all the way through the end. The cinematography is beautiful. The way it's shot, it looks great. The score is actually surprisingly really, very well done. Let's talk about the effects first, because this is at the forefront of these movies. You know, Andy Serkis returns, who's the best in the business when it comes to motion capturing, and there's no difference here. Him playing Caesar, of course, and he's fantastic. The effects that they use, I mean, it's so realistic most of the time. The emotions they get from their faces is nothing that we've ever seen. I know they tried some of this, kind of computer graphics, I guess, characters, and we saw it recently in Rogue One, for example, and something about the eyes and always kind of detracts away from the overall feeling of the character. But with the apes, it just looks so good. I mean, when you feel the emotions of them, I think that's a huge triumph to the people behind the special effects and Matt Reeves' direction. Of course, that needs to be acknowledged from the get-go. Now, this one, of course, takes place a couple years after the first one. I won't get too much in the story. I don't want to spoil anything, but obviously we have Caesar, who's still trying to protect, his family, I guess, the apes, of course. He struggled with the idea of, trying to create peace with the humans, and now we have someone known as the Colonel, played by Woody Harrelson, who I love Woody Harrelson, and although I expected more out of him in this movie in terms of what they show, he's more limited than I want him to be because I love him so much. But when he's on screen, he's great. Particularly his one scene is almost exposition scene where he kind of goes over what he's about, his motivations, and why he's so hell bent on obviously getting rid of the apes and doing what he's doing. And that's such a great and powerful scene. That's what this movie does. It gives you such great scenes, such great emotion in there. But obviously, Caesar, in terms of him, Caesar trying to balance that piece that he can strike with them, realizes that he can't do it, and he's put in a position where he kind of has to go out and go after Woody Harrelson's character. And on the way there, he's trying to find where they're hiding out. They come across a couple of characters. One is a little human girl, which is seen in the trailers, and another talking ape who grew up in the zoo apparently, and they're surprised to see him. And both characters are so effective, and because of two completely different reasons. The other ape, he brings a lot of great humor to this, and I think this movie, which definitely needs those moments of levity, and the humor really succeeds here. Really creates good balance between what's going on, because this is actually a very heavy film. And the girl itself really brings that humanity to him, and great relationships that she builds with Caesar and some of the other apes that tag along with Caesar to try to find Woody Harrelson's character. And it works off really well. Great payoffs, great emotional payoffs in this movie. I really dug this flick. This is maybe my favorite movie of the summer. I'm not sure if it's better than the last one now as far as Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but be that as it may, this is a triumph for Matt Reeves. I can't wait to see him do Batman. I know he's got signed up for that on the DCEU. And I think, honestly, now this is a great film. It's a great cap off to, I think, will be inarguably one of the best trilogies ever made. Definitely top 5 at least. I have to see this again to kind of let it soak in, but I really was impressed by what came on screen. This is a must see. I can't tell you guys enough to go watch. Recommend this movie enough to tell you guys to go watch this movie. If you're a huge Ape fan from the prior two, this is really gonna be This is, you guys will be extremely satisfied with what you see on screen, I think anyway. So if you guys go check out War Planet of the Apes, let me know what you thought. Is it one of the best strategies ever? Let's see. Of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. And lastly, don't forget to check myself out, my co-host, the Man Beast, as we do a weekly podcast, the Real Mentors podcast. Check us out on Podbean, Pocket Cast, iTunes, etc. We talk TVs, movies, and have some fun along the way. Because otherwise, what's the point, right? All right, guys. So once again, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll see you guys next time.